My friends, I stand before you today to speak about two impostors that have deceived humanity since the dawn of civilization. Two great liars that have ruined more lives than any plague or war. Two false prophets that have led countless souls astray. Their names are success and failure. And I am here to tell you the truth about both of them. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. These are not merely pretty words to be embroidered on a cushion. They are fundamental truths about the nature of human existence. They are the keys to a life well lived. They are the difference between those who achieve their potential and those who die with their music still inside them. Let us begin with success, because success is often the more dangerous of the two impostors. Success whispers sweet lies in your ear. It tells you that you have arrived, that the journey is over, that you can now rest on your laurels and coast for the remainder of your days. Success says you are special, you are different, you are untouchable. Success breeds complacency, and complacency, my friends, is the first step toward decline. I have tasted success many times in my life. In 1908, I became president of the Board of Trade at the age of 33. I was the youngest member of the cabinet. The newspapers called me a rising star. People said I had a brilliant future ahead of me. I believed them. I thought I had made it. I thought the hard work was behind me. I was wrong. Success in 1908 did not prevent the disaster of Gallipoli in 1915. It did not protect me from being forced out of government. It did not shield me from years in the political wilderness. My early success was not final. It was just a chapter, not the whole book. In 1924, I became Chancellor of the Exchequer. Again, success. Again, I was at the heights of power. Again, I might have been forgiven for thinking I had secured my place in history. But that success did not last either. Within 5 years, I was out of office again. The 1930s were perhaps the most frustrating decade of my life. I was a voice crying in the wilderness, warning about Hitler, warning about German rearmament, warning about the coming storm. And nobody listened. My previous successes meant nothing. The titles I had held, the positions I had occupied, the achievements I had accumulated, none of it mattered. I had to start again from scratch, building credibility, making my case, fighting for every inch of ground. If I had believed that my earlier successes were final, if I had thought that my past achievements entitled me to automatic respect and attention, I would have given up. I would have retired to Chartwell, painted my pictures, built my walls, and watched the world slide into tyranny. But I understood that success is not final. I understood that yesterday's victories do not win today's battles. I understood you must continue, you must persist, you must keep fighting, regardless of what you have already accomplished. And so, in 1940, when Britain finally called upon me to lead, I was ready, not because I had rested on my past successes, but because I had never stopped working, never stopped believing that I still had something to contribute. Now let us consider failure. The other great impostor. Failure tells you that you are finished, that you are worthless, that you should give up and slink away in shame. Failure says that one setback defines you forever, that one mistake erases all your potential, that one defeat means you are defeated. Failure is a liar. I have failed more times than most men have tried. I have failed spectacularly, publicly, painfully. I have failed in ways that made headlines, that ruined reputations, that seemed at the time to be absolutely final. In 1899, I was captured by the Boers during the South African War. I was a war correspondent, not even a soldier, and I was taken prisoner. Some would call that a failure, but I escaped. I walked 300 miles through enemy territory. I made it to safety, and I became a hero. That failure was not fatal. It was just a detour on the road to something better. Gallipoli, as I have mentioned, was the greatest failure of my early career. Thousands dead, a strategy in ruins, my reputation destroyed. I was forced to resign from the Admiralty. Politicians who had once courted my favor now pretended not to know me. Newspapers that had once praised me now called for my head. That failure seemed fatal. It felt fatal. For months I sank into a depression so deep that my family feared for my sanity. But it was not fatal. I survived, I learned, I grew, and I returned. In the 1945 election, immediately after we had won the greatest war in history, the British people voted me out of office. After everything I had done, after leading the nation through its darkest hour, after the blood and sweat and tears, they chose someone else. That stung. I would be lying if I said it did not hurt. But was it fatal? No. I returned as Prime Minister again in 1951. That failure was temporary. That defeat was not final. You see, my friends, failure is only fatal if you let it be. Failure only destroys you if you give it that power. But if you understand that failure is simply information, simply feedback, simply a lesson to be learned, then it becomes something else entirely. It becomes a tool. It becomes a teacher. It becomes a stepping stone to something better. Consider Thomas Edison, who failed 10,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Was each of those failures fatal? No. Each one taught him something. Each one brought him closer to success. Each one eliminated one more way that did not work. Consider Abraham Lincoln, who lost elections repeatedly, who failed in business, who suffered personal tragedy after personal tragedy. Were those failures fatal? No. They prepared him to be the leader America needed in its hour of crisis. They forged him into the man who could save the Union. Consider the British Empire itself. We have lost battles. We have lost colonies. We have lost wars. We have failed many times, but we endured. We adapted, we learned. We came back stronger because we understood that failure is not fatal. Now, here is what I want you to understand. The reason success is not final and failure is not fatal is because life is not static. Life is movement. Life is change. Life is constant flux. Nothing stays the same. The man who succeeds today may fail tomorrow. The man who fails today may succeed tomorrow. Everything depends on what you do next. That is why I said that it is the courage to continue that counts. Courage. That is the key word. Not talent, not intelligence, not luck, not privilege. Courage. The courage to continue when you have succeeded and the world is telling you to rest. The courage to continue when you have failed and the world is telling you to quit. The courage to continue when you do not know what will happen next. The courage to continue despite uncertainty, despite fear, despite doubt. That courage is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. That courage is what determines your destiny. Let me tell you what courage looks like in practical terms. Courage, when you have succeeded, means staying humble. It means remembering that you got where you are through hard work, not magic. It means understanding that you can lose everything you have gained if you become lazy or arrogant. It means continuing to learn, continuing to grow, continuing to improve, even when you think you have already made it. I have known many men who achieved early success and then stopped growing. They thought they had learned enough, achieved enough, become enough, and they spent the rest of their lives as pale shadows of what they might have been. Do not be those men. When you succeed, celebrate briefly. Enjoy the moment. Acknowledge what you have accomplished, and then get back to work, because success is not final. There are new mountains to climb. There are new challenges to face. There are new contributions to make. Your success today does not guarantee success tomorrow. Only your continued effort guarantees that courage, when you have failed, means getting up. It means dusting yourself off. It means analyzing what went wrong without making excuses. It means accepting responsibility without wallowing in self-pity. It means learning the lessons that failure has to teach you. It means trying again, but trying smarter. Failure is the universe's way of teaching you what does not work, but you must be willing to learn. You must be willing to adjust. You must be willing to try a different approach. If you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, that is not courage. That is stupidity. Courage means having the wisdom to change course while keeping your ultimate goal in sight. When I returned to Parliament after my wilderness years, I did not use the same arguments that had failed before. I adapted. I found new ways to make my case. I built new alliances. I learned from my failures and used that knowledge to succeed. That is what courage looks like. Now, some of you may be thinking that this is easy for me to say. You may be thinking that I had advantages that you do not have. You may be thinking that my successes were bigger and my failures were cushioned by privilege. And there is some truth to that. I was born into an aristocratic family. I had opportunities that many do not have, but I also faced obstacles that privilege could not overcome. I had a speech impediment. I struggled in school. I was not a natural athlete or scholar. I had to work for everything I achieved, and privilege did not prevent my failures. Privilege did not save me from Gallipoli. Privilege did not keep me in office during the 1930s. Privilege did not win me the 1945 election. What sustained me was not privilege. What sustained me was courage, the courage to continue, and that courage is available to everyone. It does not cost money. It does not require connections. It does not depend on circumstances. It is a choice you can make right now wherever you are, whatever your situation. You can choose to continue. Let me speak directly to those of you who are experiencing success right now. Your business is thriving. Your career is advancing. Your relationships are strong. Your health is good. Everything seems to be going your way. Wonderful. Enjoy it. You have earned it. But do not believe that it will last forever without continued effort. Do not think that you have figured everything out. Do not assume that the rules that got you here will keep you here. Stay hungry. Stay curious. Stay humble. Keep learning, keep growing, keep pushing, because success is not final. The moment you stop moving forward is the moment you start moving backward. There is no standing still in life. You are either growing or dying. So choose growth. Choose to continue. And let me speak directly to those of you who are experiencing failure right now. Your business has collapsed. Your career has stalled. Your relationships have ended. Your health is failing. Everything seems to be falling apart. I am truly sorry. I know that pain. I have felt that despair. I have stood where you are standing. But hear me clearly. This is not the end. This failure is not fatal. You are not finished unless you choose to be finished. You still have value. You still have potential. You still have something to contribute to this world. But you must choose to continue. You must choose to get up one more time. You must choose to try again. I cannot promise you that success will come quickly. I cannot guarantee that your next attempt will work. I cannot tell you that the road ahead will be easy. But I can tell you that if you continue, if you keep trying, if you refuse to accept failure as final, you give yourself a chance, and a chance is all any of us ever have. A chance is all we need. Now, let me address the question that some of you are asking. How do you know when to continue and when to quit? How do you distinguish between courageous persistence and foolish stubbornness? This is a fair question, and the answer is this. You continue when you still believe in the goal, even if you need to change the method. You quit when the goal itself no longer serves you. Let me give you an example. If your goal is to build a successful business and your first attempt fails, you continue. You start again. You try a different product, a different market, a different strategy. The goal remains the same, but the method changes. That is courageous persistence. But if your goal was to build a business only to please your father, and you realize that you actually hate business and your father's approval is not worth your misery, then you quit that goal. You find a new goal that serves you better. That is wisdom, not cowardice. The courage to continue does not mean continuing with something that is destroying you. It means continuing with your journey, your growth, your development as a human being. Sometimes that means changing direction entirely. I changed political parties twice in my career. Some called me a traitor, an opportunist, a man without principles. But I knew that I was continuing toward my true goals, my real values, even as I changed my methods and my affiliations. You must have that same clarity about what truly matters to you. And you must have the courage to continue pursuing what truly matters, even if the path changes, even if the method shifts, even if other people do not understand. As I come to the end of my words today, I want to leave you with this thought. Your life is a story that you are writing. Every day, you add a new page. Some pages are triumphs. Some pages are disasters. Some pages are boring. Some pages are beautiful. But the story is not finished until you stop writing it. Success on page 50 does not mean the story is over. Failure on page 100 does not mean the story is ruined. The story continues as long as you continue. And the quality of the story depends not on whether you succeed or fail, but on whether you keep writing. So write. When the writing is hard, write. When you feel inspired, write. When you feel blocked, write. When people praise your story, write. When people criticize your story, write. Keep continuing. Keep moving forward. Because success is not final. It is the courage to continue that counts. That courage is in you right now. It has always been in you. It will always be in you. You simply need to choose to use it. Choose now. Choose today. Choose to continue. Your future self will thank you. The world needs what you have to offer. But you must have the courage to continue offering it through success and failure, through triumph and disaster, through all the ups and downs that life will throw at you. I believe you have that courage. I believe you will continue. I believe in you. Now go and prove me right. Thank you.